Hello, hello. Are we live? Is the mic running? Yes, we are live. Welcome back for after the weekend. Hope you have had a good weekend, a good Sunday. I've been doing a bit of cleaning, let's say, or figuring out the issues I had last time with the step, and I figured it out. So if I take a look at the running code, I can now see that I do have my step height that is computed. If the step is not too high, I do go over it and land on the ground after that. And if the step is too high, I'm not going to the ground. I'm just stopping at the wall, and so that's okay. The main issue I had was related to the position of the character, because intuitively I was considering the position of the character at the bottom of the capsule, when in fact the default position for the capsule is at the center. So I had to compute different stuff, and actually to think about it, I had to draw a little diagram. So if I open that like so, that's my capsule initially. It gets casted along the plane and is hitting here the step nose. So to compute the step nose position, I need to do a projection on the gravity axis of the vector from the position to the hit position. That gives me the vertical component. And to compute the height of the step, I actually need to get the player heights divided by 2. So the total heights of the player divided by 2 plus my skin width, or my shell width. Actually, I call it shell in my code. My shell width to get this distance to the center of the capsule. And that gives me the height of the step that I can check against my maximum step height and do the rest of the computation. So casting again from the top of the step and then going above the step. So what I want to do first, and also it's not messing up my other computations, so that's okay. What I want to do next is to refactor that so that the capsule, the player position is actually at the bottom of the capsule. And to do that, I need to go to my capsule collide and slide authoring and to create the collider myself, not to rely on the physics collider component, on the capsule collider component in the inspector, because I want to create it slightly differently, and I want the center to not be the position of my character. So the first thing I do is to create my player capsule as capsule geometry. And I'm saying that the first vertex of the capsule, so actually the first vertex of the capsule for this capsule, for instance, would be here. So it's the center of the bottom sphere. The second vertex is here. It's the center of the top sphere. And the line in between the two centers is actually computed automatically based on the radius. So for the bottom sphere, I'm saying that basically it's at the radius distance from the ground. And for the vertex 1, I'm saying that it's at the capsule heights, so the total heights of my character. 2 units, for instance, minus the radius, so it's symmetrical to be up, both up and down. So this should allow me to have the capsule set as, or the position set at the root of the capsule, which will simplify the computation for the step. And it will also help me when later for the character, if I want to crouch and reduce the size of the capsule, it will reduce it from the root and not from the center of the capsule, making the character fly above the ground. So that's basically how I need to do it. Create the capsule geometry, then create a new collider, and from the capsule collider I create the blob asset that is the collider representation for the dots physics engine. What I need to do also obviously is in my game object, and that's why I made a prefab out of it, is to actually remove the capsule collider. So I can remove that component. And now let me just let only the step test. If I run that again, now my code obviously is no longer working because it was taking into consideration the center of the capsule. But if I display the collider's edge, you can see that now my capsule is above to what it was previously. So that's why I'm not actually in the cast detecting any collision. So if I move this one up, I will collide at some point, but the step height is wrong because it's not computed from the root, but from the center. So I need to solve that, and I also need to solve my visual representation of the capsule. So to do that, I will actually create another capsule under my main capsule prefab, which will not have a collider. It will just have the mesh rendering features, and I will remove the mesh rendering from my initial game object. So this one is fully in control of the physics shape and all the collide and slide parameters, and this one is just the graphical representation that I can put a little bit higher so that it aligns with the collider I will be creating. So if I go back to the scene, I am now aligned between the position and the capsule collider. So now I need to fix all of my code to actually start from the position itself, start the cast, all the computation from the position itself. If we take a look at other cases, so for instance this one, you will see that this one is not really affected. It's just the debug that is wrong. So I need to update my debug to be correct and to update my step code to be correct. So if we go back to the code, whenever I'm debugging the position, I was actually using the position. But same thing, this one is drawing the capsule from the center, so I now need to have the center of the capsule, which is no longer the position. So to get that, I need to add the collide and slide capsule height divided by 2. And I need to do that everywhere I'm drawing something from the center of the capsule. And so that's the first one. Second row, drawing this capsule, I need also to have this one too, and line player base. So this one will be updated because I need to update this computation basically. capsule cast start and end. We'll leave it like that to check what it does. And the other ones are commented, so I will update them later. So if I go back here, now my capsule is not really well aligned because I've added the player height, but not only in the gravity direction. So actually this needs to be multiplied by minus the gravity direction. So everywhere I'm doing this. Otherwise I'm adding this to all the components of the vector and not only the up vector. Okay. Here, and that's it. Saving, restarting, and that did not compile. Or I did another mistake somewhere. Okay, so I still did something wrong. I forgot the multiplication sign. A wrong copy paste, sorry. Here it's okay, here, and that's it. Okay, so that's good now. The only thing that remains to fix is the step height computation. So for the step height, the player base is now the player position directly, so I don't need to have that. I'm thinking if I should keep the shell width or not. Because the capsule should be a little bit above the ground, so I will keep the shell width. And this one will be the position plus the step. Step is actually now the exact hit. So that should just be the position on the gravity. Actually, if I take back my schema to think about it. So now this is still the hit position, but now the vector I'm getting is this one. So to get the step height, I actually need to project this one on the gravity vector and then add the shell width. So my step height the position of my step nose. I'm using this one. So it's the length of player to step nose projection of this one. So it's the length of that. Plus my skin width. And I don't actually need those. I don't need to draw them. Oh. I need this one, yes. And this one, I don't need the gravity direction actually. So that should be okay. Let's just re-add the debug text. And I want to display it at the player position plus half of the step height to put it in the middle of the step. And now we are back to the correct computation. The correct computation for the step height. So I can't go below 0.1 because my capsule is always above 0.1. And I can go up to 0.5 because that is the maximum step height that I've put on my player. So if I put something like 0.75, I can still go to 0.75. So that's okay. So now we have a capsule that has the bottom of the capsule being the position of the character. I can check the step and I can go above the step, checking above the step. Before I try other combination of step with like overhang above to check if I can move with the step, I will check that I did not break any of the other situations. Okay, so if I check this one, it's the slope not too steep collision that I need to collide with again. Okay, so I'm colliding with this one. This one is supposed to be the too steep collision. I probably broke it because, okay, so the collision is now too steep for it to move over there, but it's considering the step now. So the step logic is a bit breaking the step, the slope collision. So I will need to check that. Actually, let me add again the debug for the final position. And I think it was done here. And again, I need to add the collider dot capsule height divided by 2 multiplied by minus the gravity direction for it to start at the center of the capsule for the debug. So for this one, I'm actually correct. I am sticking to the ground. That's okay. For this one, it's not correct because for this step, I didn't actually implement the logic for the step yet. So I will need to do that also. So that's normal that the black capsule is remaining at the step. For this one, if the slope is too steep, I do remain at the slope, so that's okay. No collision, I reach the end. This one is like a wall or something like that, so I am staying on the ground, just at the obstacle. For this one, I am redirected along the wall. For this one, I do have 2 bounces. So the first one, the second one, first bounce and second bounce. For the dead end, that's okay. I am remaining stuck in between the two, even if they collide both sides at the same times. Coucou papa, c'est déjà reparti, ok. And for this one, it's what did I call this one? Dead end collision. So it's another variant. So it's 2 variants of the dead end collision. So the dead end collision is that I'm going there. I should be redirected backwards, but since I'm not going in the same direction as what I want for the player to go, I'm just stopping. And this one is trying to achieve the same thing with different slopes and not directly walls, but I don't actually think that's possible, so I will check it in a different environment maybe. Or either way, I need also to change something in there, in that logic for the slope, to not redirect the player. So if I look above here, the player is going in this direction, and since it's not considered a wall, it should keep going in that direction and not be slightly moved off course. So it just should continue going straight, otherwise it will be quite disturbing to control for a player character. So everything seems to be working correctly, except for the step which I did not implement. And that's the next bit of refactoring that I want to do, because actually this is a recursive process or looping process, including the maximum bounce of 4, but it could be higher. And what's happening here is that I'm doing the first collision and then checking if that collision is a wall or a slope or something like that. If it's a wall, I should try to consider if that is indeed a wall or if it's a step, and so on and so on. Actually, I don't want to implement that logic in that manner. I would rather have support type, let's say, or a kind of hit. Did I hit a wall? Did I hit a slope? Did I hit a step? Or something like that. To actually try to do the actual displacement and the next step, the next cast in the next iteration. So that's what I'm going to refactor right now. So the first thing I want to do is to add, I think I started, different support type. So if it's a ground, it means that I'm not actually sliding or whatever. So I'm below the threshold for the maximum slope. If it's a wall, it means that I'm hitting something that I cannot step over and I cannot stand on. So actually, let me move them in a different order. And if it's a step, it's something that I'm hitting. It's too steep to be a slope, so to be considered ground, but I can step over it. So what I want to do also is to define a support structure to keep in mind the important information, to keep in mind the important data about the last hit that I had. And I will start by assuming that I'm grounded, but that can be for later part of the state of the entity, so that it remembers the last hit from the previous frame. So let's start with defining this support data. Assuming the first one will be in the gravity direction, opposite to the gravity direction, because I suppose I'm grounded on flat ground. The position will be actually the position of my entity minus my shell width multiplied by minus the gravity direction. So because the gravity is negative, so that will be a positive, so I will go down, so that's okay. And the last is a type of support, which will be support type ground by default. And now I need to assess the type of ground that I'm on. So if I'm on support dot, I'm on ground, I will apply the logic. Alors, which logic should I apply? I should cast my collider by default, so this one. Okay. This collector can be defined here. And if I do have a collision, then I compute the safety distance. I compute my travel distance. So I do all of that basically. Okay. And then I evaluate the hit. So I will first check if that is a slope or a wall with this. And actually I can do that after this. So this one is classify the hit. The hit is considered a wall or too steep slope. So actually slope angle, okay, that's computed here. So that's the check I need to do. Before I correct the normal. And before that even I need to update my support. to say that my new support will be the collector, which is here. Closest it, surface normal, and the collector closest it position, and the grounding type will be defined by default as ground. So that's okay. So by default, I consider it's ground. And if the slope angle is above the maximum slope, I need to update my support to be type wall. I need to correct the normal. Support.normal. It's going to be this. Okay. The hit has not changed, so I'm still hitting the same point. And I should check for my step also. Before I say it's a wall. So this is the logic for my step. Player to step nose. So I will check for the step, and if it's not a step, then it's a wall. Otherwise, it will be a step, and the surface normal will be the minus gravity vector again, because I am assuming that after the step it's flat. Okay, and this one I will need to correct after for my reorientation along the slope to only take the horizontal component or vertical component. I don't remember. So I have plenty of errors because I duplicated a lot of codes. So actually now this is done, so that's okay, okay. I have the travel distance. This is my corrected normal. That's the check for the check for the step, and after that, what is that? Corrected normal. We need to reorient the movement along the plane to actually be able to move. So that needs to be done here. Here, basically. So I can set the position by default. And if it's not a slope, else I need to say that it's the ground. and I need to reorient it along the ground plane. So that was what I was doing around here. So actually, no, that's not that part. Oops. If I've hit something, the surface normal, it's okay. So I can go back to my initial way of doing things, avoiding a else statement. Okay. The corrected normal was here because of the wall. So now I should just do the leftover distance. Okay, so I project my leftover distance that I computed after my first move, which is no longer computed. So that's my distance. Okay, I move the distance. That's okay. I'm then checking for the slope to classify the hit, the new hit. So I've already moved. So my leftover distance is my distance projected on the corrected normal. So it's no longer on the corrected normal, it's on the support dot normal. And I can remove this code. And then I will check and choose between the distance that I'm projecting or 0 if I'm trying to go in the opposite direction of the desired movement. And I think I removed too many accolades, brackets, curly brackets, or too little curly brackets. And I will continue. So I will loop. Okay, let's check what it gives us. Nothing good. This one is correct. This one is correct. This one is not correct. This one, no. So it doesn't take the collisions. So I messed up the collision logic. If the slope angle is above the maximum slope, that should be considered a wall. So if it's considered a wall, I should correct the surface normal. So this is the part that I'm missing. Let me go back in the code. I should have commented it. It's this line of code that I'm missing. Because here, if it's a wall, I need to correct the normal. To project the normal on the plane of gravity direction, to have the normal, only the vertical flat normal along the ground. And it's complaining cannot resolve. Oops. Okay. Checking again. Still not working. So there is something else that is broken. Just recompiling it to make sure, but let's go through it slowly. So I assume I'm on the ground, so that's fine. On the first pass, if this is the ground, I did not implement I did not implement the rest of the logic. So the next pass is not the ground, it's a wall, and I'm not implementing it. But should I actually care about the type here? I'm doing the collider cast. Then I define if the next iteration will be a wall, a slope, or a step. And I actually need to have different logic here on the next iteration. If it's the ground, I will actually need to change. So, okay, I'm not supposed to change the position and normal here. I'm supposed to do them on the next step. So here I'm just saying if it's a step or not, and I should not do that. And here I should just say if it's a wall or not, and not do this part. Because this part will be done here. So this logic should probably be the same for every one of them. But if it's a ground or if it's a wall or if it's a step, I should do something different. So if it's a step, I should consider that the surface normal is up, whatever. Actually, the cast input is the same also. No, not necessarily the same. It's the default one. And then override it if necessary. Because if it's a wall, I need to change the surface normal. And I need to do it from my current surface normal. So the normal I checked from the last frame I got on the last hit. On the next one, since I'm saying it's a wall, I should redirect it. Yeah, should be okay. That's my corrected normal, and I'm setting it back here, so okay. And for the step, that's should be okay. Just not sure about the position for the step, because I think I should probably undo the computation to start the cast above the step. So let's just remove that, remove that. What do I get now? An error. Okay, what's going on here? An assertion failed. I'm not sure what assertion failed. Let's try again. Where does that come from? Convex collider. Line 109 collide and slide system. 109. Okay, so let's assume we don't do anything to the collider. And remove the debug. That's strange. Why are you complaining? I should probably have put my code under source control to be able to revert back, but I'm not sure exactly what he is complaining about. Let's try a recompile and refresh of the entity cache. Okay. Saving. No, it's still broken. Collide and slide 96. Collide and slide 29. Collide and slide 96. So it's this one. And what is it complaining about? Assertion failed. Is true. It's true. Distance query. Convex. Is true. Is infinite. Closest points distance. So is it complaining not about the collider but about the casts that I'm doing? Position plus distance. Is there some point? I think I set the distance to... No, I set it after that 0. Maybe I didn't check the case where there is no it. So if I don't have a it, I'm stating the support. I'm classifying the it. Calculating the angle, so by default I say it's ground. But in fact it could be no it. So that's probably what I'm missing here, because if there is no it, no, I'm breaking if the distance is below epsilon. So if the leftover distance is 0, what is the leftover distance here? Projecting on plane. Project on plane. Maybe I should put a project safe here to make sure that if I'm already projecting a 0 vector, it's not going crazy. Yes, that was it. Okay. So that's good. all my situations. This one is not considering it as a wall. So let's put the... I think I initially started with 45. That's definitely more than 30. Same thing for this one. So the slope, the wall logic is not working. As I expect. So I broke the wall logic. It seems to be working for straight head-on collision. So where is my wall detection? I detect the wall here. And on the next iteration, if it's a wall, I'm correcting the normal to be on the ground plane and casting again distance. I'm not reorienting the distance. I am not changing the distance that I'm casting towards. So that's the travel distance. Okay. I'm reorienting it here. But I'm reorienting it based on the support normal, not on the corrected support normal. So this logic should happen This logic should happen after this. Not at all. Broke everything. Everyone is going straight to the finish line. So that is not what I want. Because here I'm not using the normal. I'm correcting the normal, but I'm not using it. So this maybe no. If I do that at the beginning. Projected left over distance. Is not happy because it's also defined here. This refactor is more complicated than anticipated. So, if we are on the ground, there is nothing yet to do. If we are onto a wall, we need to change the support normal to make sure that it's aligned with the gravity plane. Renormalize it to make it a normal vector, assign it back, and use that to compute the distance that needs to be traveled. And if I'm not going in the correct direction, I'm just saying that there is no more distance to travel. If there is a step, I'm saying the support normal is up and that I want to go straight. Actually, if it's the ground, I should probably try to do the same thing. Then I'm casting in the direction of the distance that remains to travel. If I have a hit, I'm moving up to the hit with a small margin. I'm drawing a blue capsule where I've had a hit and a gray capsule where I'm left over. So the blue capsule is correct. The black one is not. Because if there is no hit, what am I doing? If there is no hit, I should break. I should break out of the loop. And travel the remaining distance, setting the distance that remains to 0. And check for the ground. Still not correct. and I'm going further than expected and not to the same distance. That's not logical at all. I'm hitting a wall. Even on this one, I'm hitting a wall straight on. Let's do a debug draw. New sphere or new arrow, and we'll do that arrow at the its support dot position and in the direction of the support dot normal, and we will color it based on the type. So color equal let's say start with green for basically a wall. Ground, sorry. If it's the wall, it will be red because I can't go over it, and if it's a step, I will do it in yellow, and I draw the normal in the color for the time step duration. Okay, so step, 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 step. It's all considering it to be steps. So every hit is considered a step. Let's actually take one. So this instance, and now it's a wall, and now the wall is working. Okay, so my issue is that I'm not detecting this as a wall, but as a step. And can I just invert my logic and say, okay, maybe it's a step, and if the angle is not too big, it's a wall. But even if it's even for this case, I don't understand. Because for this case, it's a step. And for the step, it should see. So actually, that's my cast that is not correct for the step. Because for the step, I should see that I can't go through this one. So let's add a debug here to draw a capsule. I'm going to draw the capsule, position plus half the step height. Yeah, so that's probably my issue. I should change this. I should change this. Let's draw it in red. See where it's drawn. And it seems to me that it's drawn on the spot here. But why? Why is it? Why does it keep going? If it's a so I probably am not setting the distance to 0 because I'm reaching the end of the loop. So I suspect that here I'm looping on the step, always hitting but never moving. So the distance, travel distance is 0, position is not updated. And where do I update my leftover distance? I'm not updating the leftover distance. I should be updating the leftover distance. Distance equal distance minus travel distance. Float 3.0. No. No. Okay, so that's too many line of code for my eyes. I'm starting the loop here. Okay. Got my position, got the distance I need to travel. If it's on the ground, good. If it's a wall, I project and redirect the distance. That's okay. And if it's a step, because I want to check the step first, in fact, not the wall. So if it's a step, I'm not changing the distance. I'm doing the cast based on that distance. Actually, I need to update the distance after that because I'm to create the cast after that because I updated the distance here. I've got my safety distance. I do my travel. I update my position. Detect the new type of support. And I classify my hit to say if the slope is too steep, I should check if it's a step. And if I think it's a step, I should know only if it's a step actually. In that case, it will always be green. Say it's a step, otherwise it's a wall. I continue and I got to check my distance, but I never actually updated the distance. So I do need to update the distance that I've traveled. This one is reorienting, but it's not actually reducing. So I do need to update the distance by saying it's the distance minus the distance I traveled. Don't see how it could work otherwise. So for the wall, it's working, but if it's a step, it keeps going. And basically is that if I'm currently trying a step and that step is not making me move, so I got a hit. I've traveled a given distance. That hit is checking if it's a slope, and basically it should be a step. So it could be a step or a slope. But if I'm currently checking a step, it cannot be a step again. And the support type is not a step. And for that, I need to not update that. So I need to do this. And this. And this one is taking care of saying, okay, it's a slope, a step, a wall, or a grounding slope. Ground. And now it's working. Now it's working correctly. Hooray! So the step is not working anymore. Crap. I broke the step, but I fixed the wall. And I broke this one also. The dead end is broken too. Because I actually think that I should check here if it's epsilon. I set the distance to 0 and break, or the bounce is above 4, 3. Let's do 3. Always false, okay. So is equal to 3. So if I'm on the last bounce, then I break out and stop, and that's correct now. Okay, so it remains only the step. And the step is broken because I need to update this position for the cast. I need to update the cast position. So I actually need to create the cast after the wall and the ground, but update this here because I may need to update this to be cast at the nose step that I was computing earlier and that I probably removed the computation for. So I need to recompute again my nose step. So var step nose to player, and this one was mass.project of the support dot position along the gravity, and I should add the collider arrow slide dot shell width times gravity times minus the gravity direction, because gravity is negative, so I should do it in positive at the end. Okay, so I need to update the cast input dot start to add the nose step, and same thing for the end. Will that be correct? Let's draw that from cast input dot start. And draw that in green. Okay, so this one seems a bit better. Let's actually fold and deactivate everyone but the step to see a bit better. And I'm not computing the step position correctly. What did I miss? Going back to this, I got this one, so it's actually the hit position minus the position that I need to project. No, support position minus position. I'm changing not okay. This is a cube that I should change. What is my maximum step height? 0.75, okay. So that's not correct still. There is still something that is not okay here. I'm taking this and adding the shell heights. So if I have nothing, I am grounding myself, so that's okay. I'm stepping over. But the position is not updated here. I'm just updating the position of the cast. I'm just updating the casting position and not actually the actual position. So I should take the collider cast input dot start. No, I'm still dipping into the ground. So the cast is correct because if I'm moving to 0.75 or something like that, I'm stopping at the step, exactly. But if I move below, I'm not updating my position correctly because I am going to the end of the path, but I'm not on the ground. I'm not on the ground. I've updated my position with the start. So that should be correct, except I'm not hitting anything. And since I'm not hitting anything, I'm breaking. I am breaking out of the loop, and breaking out of the loop, I'm updating the position with the distance. And I don't have the collider. So let's move that here. Since the last bounce did not produce a hit, we need to update the position with the last distance checked. And we need to do that from the collider start. Yes. So step is working again. Let's hope the rest is also working. Checking it. Why Where did my 3D view go? What? Why can I not move in 3D anymore? Let's open a new scene view. Okay, so let's fix it. Okay, so this one heads-on collision. So I'm doing the heads-on collision. No longer on the ground, so there is an issue here. Okay. This one is redirecting, that's okay. This one, okay. This one is okay. This one too. And this one seems to. Okay. And now, in terms of horizontal position, these two are not okay. These two are not okay because they are moving up the step because of this one. No. If the step produces a hit, I should not tricky, because if the step produces a hit, either it's again a slope or something like that I can travel, or I basically can't move because it's a wall. So I need to cast back down. But it should be fine if... Is it really necessary? Because if I do something like, okay, create game object plane, scale it by like 100 and put it down, I will hit something on the ground, so that's okay. I don't need to solve that issue now. It's okay. Because I'm reaching the ground every time. So even if I put this one, oops, higher and higher and higher. Okay, so that's final position is correct. So if I were to adjust this to be like here, that should be fine. Okay, let's leave it like that and focus on the step. Actually, yeah, I changed my prefab 45. So these slopes are not too steep. But this one is. Should not be. I may have an issue with the slope. Two are at 45. This is a 30 degrees step. So this is a grounding hit. And for the grounding hit, I'm not redirecting the distance. So that's one of the things that I wanted to adjust also. I want to project the remaining distance on the plane of surface normal. My debugs are all messed up. So let's do the debugs again. This should be good to classify this capsule. Let's not draw them like that. Let's just draw the capsule at the start with the color and at the end with the color and draw a line between start and end in the color. And I actually removed the surface normal. Draw a line between the start of the cast and the end of the cast. Start playing. Okay. So there are still some blue debugs somewhere. The step height, let's put it in yellow to match other step data. And this one I can remove. Okay. So let's only debug the grounding to see something. But the normal is not the gravity up, that's why. The normal is not affected. Okay, that solves it. So I am landing on the ground at the end, that's okay. This one is too steep, so I'm not going over it. Step is okay. I'm stopped at the wall. I'm redirected along the wall, along two walls. Stopped at the dead end. Same thing here. And this one also is correct. So let's check here. What I want to fix here is this one should continue in this direction. So I need to change slightly the normal. I need to either change the normal or change the projection of the distance I need to travel. I need to remove the vertical component of the normal. Can I do that? If I do that, oops. So this is the normal, so I'm going in the what does it look like from above? I'm crossing the normal. Because I should be going this distance. Okay, so theoretically I should be going like that, continue over there. But since I'm projecting, so I just want to project upwards. So I actually need to remove the horizontal component. Of the vector. But that will just give me up. And up was not working. Up was working for this case. But it's breaking the slope logic. But that is breaking the slope logic. How can I make it so that the character keeps moving? Why? So it's not just up. Oops. It's kind of hard to think in 3D, but what I want is for the movement vector projected on the plane, but keeping the alignment with the direction I'm going towards. So if I'm going that way, they are not aligned, right? No, they are definitely not aligned. So this one is a wall, it's normal, it's redirected. This one should not be. If I do up, it's not redirected, but if I do up, the straight slopes are no longer working. Actually, let me move this one next to this one, because here if I do just up, this one is not working anymore either because I'm stopping right here, so it's not up. That confirms it. So now the projection on the surface normal, it's the same thing as I'm doing here. And on this wall, I'm correcting the normal. So can I do the same kind of correction? But I'm projecting on the distance direction. No. That doesn't seem to be what I want. No. That's kind of working, but it's still sending me sideways if I'm not hitting the slope straight. So for instance, if I rotate this one a bit, it's making me deviate, which is not what I want. I want to keep going straight. I need to do something with sorry, I need to do something with the normal vector. Actually, yeah, I was correcting it. Because if I do the exact same thing as for the wall, see, it's much worse, obviously. So maybe I should just project on the gravity itself. And not on the plane, just project on the gravity. Project. I want to project my surface normal. On the gravity. And that's not working. Nope. So this is a piece of math that I will need to figure out for next time. Before I stop here, I want to try also quickly check my collision detection for the step case. So let's go back to the step. Because if I take this one, duplicate it and put it above, okay. Okay, so that seems to be working. Even if there is like a tunnel or something, I can only go into the tunnel. Actually, rotate it. Yeah, okay. So maybe there is some adjustment to do, because here I'm inside the ceiling. There may be some margin of error here to solve. But otherwise the step seems to be working correctly. Or it's just the display? I'm not sure. No, I'm there is a distinction between my black and white collider, but hopefully that will not go through the ceiling. So I've got most of my logic working. Steps, collision, the only fix I need to do is the slope. to continue walking straight, because I need that to happen. So thank you for those who joined. Thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, support me on however you can. Just watching back the episodes, the previous streams, or even if you're interested in dots, you can take a look at the dots tutorial series I've made. And I guess I will see you on the next stream on Wednesday, same time, same place. So thank you again for watching, and see you in the next stream. Bye!